my room 10. Yesterday we made a chart of some things that we might want to write a review about. So we made our charts. And today we are going to be moving on in our writing process. Now, we did the thinking yesterday. We're going to do a little bit more thinking today because we need to decide what we're going to write our first review about. You're going to write lots of reviews during this unit. So you'll get to write about some of the other things, but you have to pick what you're going to do first. So let's see. Disneyland. Ooh, I love Disneyland. Mar Vista. You know what? This is the thing I'm totally thinking a lot about now because I'm using it a lot now. Zoom. So I think I'm going to write my first review about Zoom. So I've gone ahead and I have done my thinking. I came up with all these ideas. I've decided what my first thing is going to be. I'm done. And it is time for me to do some planning. Now, you're going to get to do some planning at home, and I just want to show you what you have. I gave you this in your bag that everybody got. You got some little booklets, 3-page booklets. You can use this to write your reviews. You can write it on other paper. I will be putting copies of this paper in our Google folder so your parents can download it. You can write it in your composition book if you want. You can save these in your writing workshop folder so that you have them just like you're in school, and you can keep things in there. So you have all of those choices. What I have done, though, is I've had to create a big version of it so that you can see it. So I'm going to get rid of this guy for a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and put up these pages. Now I am going to have to move the writing process down for a little bit, but I will be referencing again, so I'm going to keep it kind of in this area. So I have recreated the 3 pages of your book here. Oh, and by the way, I do want to mention, in case some of you want more than 3 pages, I have given you some extra sheets that you can put in. The fancy stars go at the end though, so you would have to unstaple and put it back in. Okay, so I have decided that I am going to write a review of Zoom. And we know we're on the planning stage now, and we want to make sure that we have writing on all 3 pages. We don't want to just finish everything on 1 page. So I need to think about what I'm going to put on each page. So, and first off, I have to decide, do I like Zoom or do I not like Zoom? And you know what? I pretty much like Zoom. Sometimes it upsets me a little bit and I get frustrated with it. So, but overall, I do like Zoom. So let me see. One of the things I like about it, and I think I will put this on the first page, is the whole idea that I can teach things on Zoom and I can learn things on Zoom because I even take classes on Zoom. But I told you sometimes I get a little upset with it. So yes, I do get upset. Sometimes I have technical problems and it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So I think I'll put that on the second page. And then on the third page, I do want to come back because I overall do like Zoom, and I get to see my friends, I get to see my family on Zoom, and I get to see you on Zoom. So I definitely get to see people. So I have made sure that I have something to say on every page. I'm going to talk about how I learn and I teach on Zoom. I do sometimes get frustrated with it and the technical problems, but I get to see my friends, my family, and my students. So that's going to be on the third page. So as you know, I'm going to hold this up here for a second. In our writing process, I've done my planning. I've touched across the pages. I've made sure I have something that I'm going to say on each page. But how am I going to remember that? Ha 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 ha. Sketch and label. That is our next step. To sketch and label so that we remember what's going to be on every page and what our plan is. Now I know some of you are totally not into sketching and labeling. I'll talk about that in a moment. I don't want to forget my idea, so I'll talk about, for those of you that are not into it, I will talk about it. But here is my plan. So I said on this page, oh, first off, I should write the review of Zoom. And it's reviewed by Ms. Dotson. I'm using my blue pen because remember we used blue pens for the first 4 steps of the writing process. If you have a blue pen, you can reuse that. If you want to use a black pen, that's fine. If you want to use a pencil, that's fine for these first few days of the writing process. My one request is that you don't use green or red or any fancy colors because we can save those for revising and editing. So blue, black, or pencil is fine. Okay, so I'm going to sketch and label. Do I want to spend a long time doing a really fancy picture? Definitely do not want to spend a long time doing a really fancy picture. So my whole first page is about learning and teaching on Zoom. So I've taught about worms, and I'm going to label those worms. We have our worms. Oh, I've also taught some math. I know I've taught more than 1 + 1, but that's just to remind me what I'm going to talk about. I've also, believe it or not, taken some ballet classes on Zoom. I'll put a little dress on there. Smile and a bun. So I've learned on Zoom, so I'm going to label that ballet. Is it okay to go outside the box? Of course. Now in this one I said I was going to write about sometime, so we have technical problems. So here we go. I am going to draw a computer to represent, those are the keys, the technical problems. Here's the screen, and this is what happens to me sometimes. Frozen. It freezes and I can't do anything. Oh, it makes me so mad. Okay, I'm going to write about those problems. But then in the end, I want to come back to some nice things because I overall do like Zoom. So I'm going to draw a picture again of my computer. I'm going to kind of go off the edge because I'm not worried. And then in here, I get to see all of you and all of my friends. These are your faces inside those little boxes. Am I spending a lot of time doing this picture? No, this person isn't very happy. Sometimes we're not happy. Actually, for you guys, I should have like half of your heads missing because sometimes you duck down. So, friends, family, students, I have done my sketching and labeling. So today I made my last part and I thought and I decided what I was going to do. I planned so that I had something to say on every single page, and I did my sketching and labeling so that I would remember what I was going to write on every single page. So a couple of just little extras for you, and I want to make sure I have my notes here that I don't forget. I know some of you are not into sketching and labeling. I totally get that. As you can see, I am not a great artist. I'm okay. Shh, don't tell anybody. But I'm okay if you decide to write first and not worry about the sketching labeling. But you must still plan because you want to have words on every page. You don't want to finish all your words on one page and have no more to say. So still plan so that you can put words on every single page. And if you are doing sketching and labeling today, I'm totally cool with that. That's great. You want to finish it today. You should not spend your whole 15 to 20 minutes of writing workshop doing one picture. You need to have at least one book finished. That means 3 pages of sketching and labeling finished today. If you finish writing or sketching and labeling, you can start a new book. You may do some more work on this book. That is totally your choice, what you would like to do. So you can write more than one review today. You will see the stars on the bottom page. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, so I would like you not to do anything with those yet today. So today, you've got so much to do when you start writing. You have to plan, you have to think what you're going to write about, plan, going across all the pages, and then sketch and label, or if you want to, write just a little bit across all the pages so that you have your review. So that is what we were doing today, and tomorrow we will continue with our review writing. Writers, it's time for you to go write.